The AFC North preview edition of the NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our own Patreon. Score exclusive perks contests and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Hey, we are also brought to you by our Parlay Play. Our Parlay Play is a lead pipe locking for parlaying player props. Go to parlayplay.io and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit today.
I'm just about that action, boss.
You have to be kidding me. That is impossible.
I'm raising the ante. Anybody wants any deal?
Jordan Davis, dog. Jalen Hurts, dog. AJ Brown, dog. How many of you want to eat a W tonight?
And welcome, everybody, back to the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is preseason division previews, and we are talking AFC North. And honestly, I'm an NFC East guy, but if I had to pick a division outside the NFC East, I love this division. Pure hatred. You got Pittsburgh, you got Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore. They hate each other. Nobody's spending Thanksgiving or Christmas with one another. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, one of the hosts, and I am joined. Hey, he's with me every step of the way last year on the NFL pod, and he's back again, Mr. Old-Fashioned Football. J-Mark Football, what's up, bro?
How's it going? I agree with you. This is a great division because these teams, it's not just like, oh, hey, we like playing each other. These guys get nasty with each other.
Fantastic. Hey, it's like you're an NFC North guy. I mean, you got Chicago. It's the same geographic area. I mean, pure hatred, rivalries, and that's why we had to bring third man in the box. And shout out to the chat. Moonoff is in there. He is not a part of the AFC North. He's part of the AFC South. I don't even know if they have rivalries in that division. But shout out to Mr. Moonoff the Machine. But yeah, we had to bring in the third man in the box. He is a Texas A&M grad, first off. So on Saturdays, he cheers on his Aggies, but on Sundays, you see him on youtube.com/SGPN NFL. He is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and he had the over last year, and he single-handedly, him and Mike Tomlin, to another non-losing season. Cameron Kerr, what's up, brother?
What's up? Yeah, it was all honestly me and Mike that willed us to 9 wins last year. But that intro got me even more excited for the NFL season than I already was. And I'm super excited to talk some AFC North football with you guys.
And diss on the Browns, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck all the other teams, honestly. Mostly the Ravens, but yeah.
You want to throw the Bengals in there too? I mean, you've already said the Browns and
the Bengals have been
the Ravens already.
The whole state of Ohio has been Pittsburgh's little brother for so long that I don't even have to I don't even really consider them as opponents. Although the Bengals are scaring me a little bit, but I also know that they're the Bengals, so I'm not really worried about the future. Like, they're going to screw it up somehow.
Well, it's fantastic is Moonoff asked us what divisions we want leading up to this. And I said anything but the NFC East because I don't want to talk anything positive about Dallas, New York, or Philly. So put me on any other division. So if you had the under on when Cam would say fuck Baltimore, fuck Cleveland, or fuck Cincinnati, you're a winner here. Let's recap 2022 real quick before we move into 2023. The Bengals win the division back-to-back, finishing 12-4. Obviously, they had the season cut short by one game because of the DeMar Hamlin situation. The Ravens finished 10-7, losing the wild card round to the Bengals, and actually it was a pretty good game. Rewind, the Bengals lost to the Chiefs in the AFC title game. Your Pittsburgh Steelers, Cam, finished 9-8. Almost, if it wasn't for the New York Jets choking away that game in Week 18, it would have been another playoff for Mike Tomlin. And the Cleveland Browns were in the cellar at 7-10. So, this is back-to-back years that everybody's won at least 7 games in this division. Probably, I don't think there's really a doubt. This is the most balanced division in football. Would you agree, J. Mark?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, these teams are consistently in it. The Bengals have started to pull ahead a little bit, it seems like, the past couple of years, but it still feels like a division that it can be anybody's, any of these teams minus the Browns. You'll find that everybody's just so excited about the Browns, but I am not. So you'll find that out quickly. But anyways, yeah, I think any of these teams could take this division.
How about you, Cam? What were your thoughts on 2022 outside of Kenny Pickett leading that last drive, 2-minute warning style in Baltimore to guarantee a non-losing season?
Man, so I think the last couple games of the season really spoke how we're going to see the next season play out, the 2023 season play out. So the Steelers went into Baltimore and then beat Cleveland at home the last week of the season. So that's 2 AFC North games to finish the season off. Let's see. The Bengals obviously had the Damar Hamlin situation, but honestly, a lot of people are going to look at the first round playoff game between the Bengals and the Ravens and go, okay, yeah, the Bengals got to the second round. They were the better team. And I understand they had some injuries going to play, but so did Baltimore. Baltimore should have won that game. I was all over the Ravens money line that game. Got blown out there by a last 1 yard line goal stand for when they ran that touchdown back.
The fumble.
Yeah, so I don't think that, and I mean they lost eventually, but I don't think that the Bengals deserved to win that game. I thought that Baltimore played a better game. And I was really, every team finished 3-3. That's AFC North football. The tiebreaker was just broken by the Bengals, overall season record. So I think we see another season like that. I think it's going to be every team splits or, one team beats the other, but I think it's going to be close again.
I agree with you, and we'll touch on it on the other side of this because I got to get us paid by the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon because you need to do your part and sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. Besides season-long contests, they also have weekly contests for our own patrons, plus a monthly SGPN Stories podcast, completely ad-free and full of behind-the-scenes stories from SGPN. There's even a Discord channel just for you patrons out there. Only you can prevent corporate gambling from winning. Do your part and sign up today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. And we are back on the NFL Gambling Podcast. J. Mark, I take for granted Rod, his skills and the way he can just maneuver in and out of those ad reads. I mean, we really are spoiled when Rod's running the show. But let's kick it. I got in the chat. I got in the chat earlier and I was heckling him about the Niners. I'll say take all the unders. So speaking of the Niners, their opener is going to be at Pittsburgh, and that's who we're leading it off in the AFC North. Absolutely disrespectful that they have the longest odds, and Cam will touch on that here in a minute. Everybody watching on youtube.com/NFL Gambling Podcast sees the over-under win total at 8.5. So do the math there. Will Mike Tomlin extend his streak one more year of non-losing seasons? 5-1 to win the North, 35 to win the AFC, and 60-1 to win Lombardi number 7. Cam, I'll go right to you because this is your team. First thoughts on these numbers, other than they're sleeping on Mike Tomlin once again.
They are. I honestly didn't think we were going to win 9 games last year. Last year, the total was 7.5, and we are not going to see 7.5 for this team. I mean, for at least another 15 years. I think that Mike Tomlin really solidified himself. as a guy that's never going to lose or never going to go under 50%. So 8.5. I mean, the over is juiced, right? A little bit now, but I mean, I think I bet it at like minus 125, but 8.5. This is the easiest handicap you will have all season. So I always look back to the season where the Steelers had Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. And I look back on that season and go, how the hell did we win 9 games? Like it just makes no sense looking back at it. And when I saw 7.5, that was, I mean, honestly, the biggest bet I've ever placed. And then I have quite a hefty bet on over 8.5. I think that the Steelers' floor is 9 games, ceiling is like 12.
Wow. Yeah. And we'll touch on the schedule here. They get a favorable start. I'm with you. Like, I think they get off to a fast start. J Mark, are the books sleeping on Mike Tomlin once again?
I want to know who's betting against Mike Tomlin at this point. Who's taking the under? Like, they got to 9 wins last year. They should be. There's no reason that won't be better this year, in my opinion. Pickett's going to have another year under his belt. Pickens and Deontay Johnson, I think they're great playmakers on the outside there. Najee, I think he struggled a little bit, but I think it was just kind of the situational football they were playing. I think he's going to do really well this year. I don't get why they have the longest odds to win the division. I know that Watt sometimes can't stay healthy, but when he's on the field, that defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. He's a complete game wrecker. I don't understand the books here at all. I know Cam loves to hear that, but like, I honestly don't get it. Whether you were on here and a Steelers fan or not, I honestly don't get this line at all.
They made a lot of offseason moves to help improve that offense. And I mean, there's no way that the Steelers could have gotten worse. I know that Matt Canada has talked about opening up the playbook next season. I know that was a big frustration for a lot of Steelers fans. I mean, was him last season, but honestly, they just didn't have any consistency going to that first part of the season. And when we look back on it, if we would have started Kenny Pickett a little bit earlier, honestly, I was one of the guys who was outspoken against starting Kenny Pickett that week 1 game, because I know that putting rookie quarterbacks in that situation is kind of tough. But if we would have just stuck with a little more consistency and given him some more playing time, I think we could have won at least 10 games last year, at least stolen 1 more game away. But like you said, there's only going to be more consistency, and we're going to get some year 2 bumps from George Pickens, Kenny Pickett, and then a lot of our guys that played well last year just couldn't really get anything going, like Deontay Johnson. So,
and they brought in some big guys in the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, J Mark. I was just saying, I got something else.
They brought in some big guys in that draft too, and this is a Steelers team that brought in guys that they just look like they should be Steeler players, right? They're these giant mauling guys, whether that's the lineman or the tight end. They're these guys that just fit that mold. So
Broderick Jones is an absolute beast. And then obviously the big story of the training camp so far has been Darnell Washington. And I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like going against 12 personnel with Darnell and Pat Freiermuth. I mean, you guys, I know Ryan follows college football. He didn't miss a single red zone target. I still don't think he's missed a single red zone target for the Steelers. I mean, the dude catches balls, and then obviously Darnell Washington is just an absolute beast. He's going to be able to block. He's going to be able to catch. He's going to be able to take some attention off of Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, stuff like that, and maybe free up Pat Freiermuth some even more than he already is. Man, I'm so freaking excited. Yeah. And then we also picked up Joey Porter Jr., who is a cornerback. Obviously,
Love
the story
pick.
behind him.
Who's his dad? Did he play in the NFL?
Yeah, I think I was like 8.
It's a culture play, baby.
Yeah, I think I was 8 when he was in there. And then we picked up another cornerback, Corey Trice, who evidently is hurt, got hurt in training camp. But I'm really, really excited about those draft picks too.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Cam. They won the Super Bowl in Big Ben's second year, right? Because his rookie year they lost to New England.
Yeah.
And then the next year they ran through it. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I also am looking back at 2013, the last time they started 2-6 under Mike Tomlin. They were still able to rally somehow, some way, get to 8-8, and then the next year they won the division. They carried over that late momentum, kind of like you were talking about with Hodges and Mason Rudolph before he got freaking assaulted by Myles Garrett with the helmet. But hey, let's dive into the schedule. And I like what Kramer and Sean do on the main show with the pods. That's what we're going to do over here. And we're going to break down the schedule. We'll start with the first 4 games. San Francisco, quarterback issues or question marks. I know they say Brock Purdy's going to be back. And Cleveland at home, week 2, Monday night. So back-to-back home games. Then they go to Vegas, Sunday Night Football, old rivalry. And then they go to Houston. Oh, Cam, I'm gonna let you lead it off, and then J Mark and I will give our predictions on these quads. What do you got him starting here? The first 4 games, 4-0.
I think we lose. I think we lose 1, and I'm torn between. Honestly, it could be the Browns at home, but Las Vegas has historically always given us trouble. I know we pulled a win out against them last season. I had that on my sheet as a loss. So I was happy about that. But that Cleveland game is going to be in prime time. I really don't want to lose that one. But I mean, you know how AFC North games go. It's a coin flip. And I will be at the game in Houston on October 1st.
Are you going with Moonoff?
Oh yeah, I need to hit Moonoff up. But yeah. I'll be there, so that we're not losing that one for sure. So let's say 3-1. I love the Steelers getting 3 points week 1 against San Francisco too.
J Mark, how about you? What you got here in this first quad?
Yeah, Cam's being the realist. He doesn't want to get too pumped here. I'm going 4-0.
Oh yeah.
I think they're catching the Niners. Opening week 1. That's a great spot. Remember, the Niners lost week 1 last year. And then the Browns, I think that's another good spot just early in the season. Like I said, I'm not high on the Browns. I'm not high on Deshaun Watson, but I'm especially not high on those guys at the early beginning of the season. Maybe they start putting it together a little bit later. But and then the Raiders are kind of a shit show this year, and the Texans probably going to have their new quarterback starting. I just think that's going to be an easy game for the Steelers too. I like them to start the season 4-0.
I'm going to go with Cam here. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to say they dropped the Raiders game, and I think it's because it's a short week. You got to go all the way out to Vegas after playing Monday night against the Browns. Also, believe it or not, I'm like a closet Steelers fan because I went to West Virginia, so I was around the Steelers fans while I was up there. So they have always – Cam made a good point. They always have struggled with Vegas for some reason. I know they were Oakland half of the years, but – for some reason, the Raiders have always been a kryptonite, especially out west. So Cam and I got him 3-1. J Mark 4-0. Second quad. I can't believe. Why is this game at 1 o'clock? This needs to be at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Baltimore comes to Heinz Field. Yeah, I don't even know what they call it. It's Heinz Fields to me. Then they got the bye week. Then they go to LA. That's a home game for the Steelers because nobody gives a shit about the Rams or the Chargers. And then they got Jacksonville and Tennessee at home. I kind of like this stretch here too, Cam.
I know, but we have another one of those teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
ever since Tebow cursed us. Ever since we lost to Tebow in I think it was the AFC Championship, we have not been ourselves against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it just scares me even more that what's his name is gonna actually be playing well and potentially. So Los Angeles and Tennessee are easy. 3-1 again. We either lose to Baltimore or Jacksonville. 3-1 again.
J Mark.
I'm going to go 2-2 here. I think they drop to the Ravens and they drop to the Jaguars.
I'll go 3-1 again. So all of us unanimously have them at 6-2 at the halfway-ish point because there's 17 games in the NFL. You know, I'm impressed with myself with my mathematical skills. All right, third quad here. J Mark has them beating the Packers, so we don't have to ask him on that game. That game, you know, that's a fantastic game. Packers, Steelers, two iconic franchises, rematch of the Super Bowl where the Steelers came out on top. Then they go to Cleveland. Then they go to Cincinnati. So they're staying in Ohio. They need to bring Big Ben out of retirement because he never lost in Ohio. And finish up with the worst team in the league, Arizona. What do you got here, Cam, in this quad? It gets a little dicey here. That's tough back-to-back road spot.
Yeah, it is. I think we win both of those. I think we get back to the narrative. I think we see that narrative come back to where the Steelers start owning Cleveland and Cincinnati again. But that is a tough little stretch there. If it's snowing on November 12th, then we might lose to Green Bay. We're gonna beat We're gonna beat the Cardinals. That's at home. Oh
God, I hope so.
That's at home in December. Yeah, we're gonna beat the Cardinals pretty easy. I'll go 2-2 here just to be a little more conservative. So yeah,
J Mark.
They're going to beat the Packers. They're going to beat the Cardinals. I have them losing to the Bengals in this game. I'm just torn on that Browns game. Do they sweep the Browns? I say they do. I'm going to just buy into my narrative of fuck the Browns. So put them at 3-1.
Just disrespectful. You're hating on the massager. I'll go 2-2. I kind of like what Cam's point about every team in the division last year went 3-3. I think it's going to happen again. So doing my math, Cam and I both have him with 4 losses. J Mark's only got him with 3 losses. Final 5 games. Belichick owns Tomlin for some. Well, I mean, he did have Tom Brady for all those years, but they were able to beat Pittsburgh on the road last year. New England's going back up there Thursday night, and they go to Indy after that, followed by a Saturday afternoon with Cincinnati coming to town. Oh, god damn. Tough back-to-back road spot to end the year. Seattle and Baltimore, definitely the hardest part of the schedule here coming down the stretch, Cam. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, traveling on, having that game on New Year's and then going to all the way to Baltimore is definitely not ideal. But that being said, we just close seasons, and that's what we do. So I'm going 5-0 here.
Oh yeah, ooh. I love it. So you got him finishing what, 13-4?
Yeah. So what is that?
Yep, 13-4 for
13-4. Yeah. So 13-4. I think that we go on the run if we have like some sort of wake up loss to Arizona or New England. If we beat Arizona, New England, I don't know if we win the last 4, but I think it's a 13-4 season or 12-5 season.
Very nice. J Mark, how about you? What do you got him finishing here? You got him with 3 losses headed into the stretch.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to add 3 more. I'm going to do 2-3.
So you got him finishing at 11-6. I got him dropping New England. Belichick owns Tomlin. I'll ride that narrative one more time, and then I will have them. I'll have them split that final. I think they'll get it done in Seattle and lose to Baltimore. I will have them finishing 11-6 as well. So 11-6. So obviously a live dog to win this division. I think that's
hammer the over.
Decision. Yes, way over. Shit, they're gonna hit the fucking over by Thanksgiving. You're gonna be getting drunk at Thanksgiving dinner, Cam, and celebrating your over ticket already. Drinking nice wine, and celebrating Mike Tomlin.
Not gonna lie, I got a little sweaty last year. But I will.
Yeah, I think it's a less sweaty this year, and I think
Yeah, me
you'll
too.
be
Me
sweat free
too.
in the month of November or December. But before we give out maybe some longer plays, I got to talk about one more thing, and that is the parlay play. We're brought to you by the Parlay Play at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and it's a perfect way to get down on your favorite parlayed player props. Football season is right around the corner. Parlay Play will have your favorite props. It is available in tons of including states, including California and Texas, where Cam lives, plus our good friends up north in Canada, provided in their different provinces. And when you sign up, you get a code. You'll get a bonus code to get started. A parlay play is that I like something with the Steelers. Clearly, I think if you want to listen to Cam, parlay the Steelers over. And what's another favorite one of your overs this year, Cam?
George Pickens over 750.5 receiving yards.
Love
So
that.
there you go. Hammer the over on Pickens, and the Steelers over. What's that pay? Probably around what, plus 250 or
Plus
plus
200,
270
something like
around
that.
there. Yeah. Either way, it's a nice plus value. But hey, head over to this parlayplay.io and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That is the promo code at the Parlay Play promo code SGPN. And we're back on the NFL Gambling Podcast, talking Pittsburgh Steelers football. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, Kenny Pickett. We're all on the over, 11-6. So let's dive into the other ones. I mean, are they worth taking a stab at 35-1 to win the AFC if they're 13-4? I mean, you would think that they're going to be the 2 seed probably.
Absolutely. So I usually spread out. I usually spread out 2 units for Super Bowl futures. So 2 in the AFC, 2 in the NFC. Last year I had the Eagles and the Chiefs, and then I had the Chargers and I forget the other team, but I had the 2 Super Bowl teams. The Steelers are going to be one of them this year. I'm going to put, I don't know, a 1 unit down on, or a half unit down on the 60-1 to win the Super Bowl. Already got it down to win 35-1 to win the AFC.
Jim, Mark, you like any of the? What about the Super Bowl?
You asking
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Oh,
Yo, okay, I didn't hear you. Sorry,
Yeah.
my thing lagged for a second. Yeah,
full half
ladder.
unit. Yeah, they're going to be one of my AFC teams. I haven't decided on my other teams yet, but yeah, the Steelers are definitely going to be one of the 2 AFC teams.
and the Bears obviously are going to make
Very
your
nice.
NFC
J-Mark?
ones, right? Yeah, I like to win the AFC at the plus 3,500. I mean, like I said earlier, if Watt is healthy, there's not many offenses that are going to be able to move the ball freely on this defense, in my opinion. I mean, they just got playmakers all over the board, but Watt is that game changer. And then on the offensive side, I already outlined, I think they're going to be able to keep up with people, especially when that defense is holding other offenses. So I could absolutely see a scenario where they make the playoffs, have a pretty good seed in it, and make a run.
So one other concern, I'll give you all some concerns. I'm not confident in our cornerback room yet. I know we just got Joey Porter Jr., DeMonte Casey, who is the backup to Minkah Fitzpatrick, already kind of hurt this in preseason. So hopefully Minkah will stay healthy and continue to do what Minkah does. Hopefully, those guys get off to a hot start, learn fast in the preseason. But yeah, that's really the only concern I can see besides, TJ, like you said, getting hurt again. But
yeah,
I just wanted to give one more player prop. Deontay Johnson, the line isn't out there yet, but I love his, whatever his TD number eventually is. It's not, for some reason they're cowards and they won't post it. But he had 0 touchdowns last year. That Kenny is going to get him the ball. Kenny tried to get him the ball in the last game against the Browns and wasn't able to. That he's going to fly over that number, and I think that's why they're scared to post it.
How often are we going to bet the anytime or first time touchdown on Darnell Washington?
So I know that Sean has been talking about this a lot already. I honestly think that now would be a good time to pivot to Pat Freiermuth
Okay.
I like it.
because
Yeah, Iowa.
because he's gonna attract a lot of attention if they put them out on the field together. I don't know who's getting that. I mean, who's getting that linebacker that can cover? I don't know how many teams actually have two linebackers that can cover both these dudes, even. And I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
and not to mention Connor Hayward actually like making insane catches at the end of the season last year. I'm so freaking excited.
Hey, you know what I realized? Freiermuth went to Penn State. I just assumed big white tight end automatically went to Iowa. J. Mark. For my,
That's a good assumption.
I'm sticking. I'm sticking with. I mean, I'm gonna lock this over. They're not finishing with the losing. Not with the way the schedule lays out, and I definitely like them 5-1
It's a
to
pretty
win the
easy
North.
schedule.
Yeah, the way it just lays out, they build it up. I would agree with you, Cam. One of the areas I'm concerned, if I'm going to nitpick the Steelers, maybe a sophomore slump. I mean, that's always in the back of my mind for Kenny Pickett. Like sometimes last year, Mac Jones was the guy, but I mean, he had fucking Patricia calling plays. Matt Canada, I mean, you could nitpick that, but he's not Matt Patricia. But
I think he knows his job is kind of on the hot seat. I think he's
Agreed.
not going to take any chances. He's not really going to be conservative. If he's going to go out, he's going to go out firing. I mean, Joe Burrow's second season, he went to the Super Bowl, right? That was his second season.
yeah, he blew out his knee his first year.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
why not? Why not
Yeah.
why not a second year surgence, second year surge
Hey.
for Kenny. Take his over passing yards while you're at it. I think it's 3,500.
I like
Something
that.
like that.
I like that. Let's move along because we've talked. We've gone in depth on the Steelers. I mean, we all like the Steelers. Here's a team that J. Mark does not like. I think this is one of the more interesting teams because their line reeks. They're over under set at 9.5. I don't know why it's above the Steelers. 4-1 to win the North, 20-1 to win the AFC, 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. I mean, if Deshaun's back, I guess I see it. I guess that's where the books are saying here. Cam, nitpick these Browns because this is an interesting one.
Man, this is so interesting. And I can't really point at something that says, hey, this is why they're getting this. This is why they're getting this 9.5 number. They didn't really show anything last year. They lost the final game to the Steelers. They have 2 third round picks, 2 fourth round picks, and 2 fifth round picks. They did get DeJuan Jones from Ohio State. I like that pick. I mean, they got Amari Cooper. Is Amari Cooper still even good?
He's all right. I mean, they're a run first team.
Who am I thinking of?
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore. Thank you. Yeah, they picked up Elijah Moore and they got Donovan Peoples-Jones still. But I mean, is Deshaun really the guy that's going to get them 10 wins?
He didn't do it in Houston his last year. I mean, he was an MVP candidate by the numbers, but they were 4-12. J. Mark, tell us why the Browns are going to suck this year.
Yeah, I just think that Watson was too far removed. I honestly don't think we're ever going to see that MVP candidate return to the field, and especially not in Cleveland. He couldn't get it done in Houston in that warm weather. I don't think he's going to do well in that cold weather. The lines here between the Steelers and the Browns just don't make sense to me because if you look at the defense, I know the Browns have a good defense, but I'd take the Steelers defense. If you look at the offense, I'd take the Steelers wide receivers. I'd take the Steelers tight ends. I'd take the Steelers offensive line. Maybe you could make an argument with running backs because Nick Chubb, he is a really good running back, but I love Najee Harris too. I think he's got a lot of versatility. And then if Watson can be who Watson used to be, maybe he's better than Pickett at this point. But I don't think Watson will ever get back to that. So I don't understand these lines. I'm hammering the under on this one.
Let's dive into the schedule because I got them starting 1-0. They're gonna beat the Bengals' ass again in week 1. They always hammer the Bengals. Even if Burrow plays, they were gonna beat the Bengals. But now, go ahead.
Do y'all know what the line is?
It's down to 1 now, right?
Okay. I was gonna make y'all guess because I guess it's because of Burrow's injury,
uncertainty,
right? Or his uncertainty. Yeah.
I mean, it opened below a field goal, but I mean, last year they played on Monday night and they took it behind the woodshed and just ran the ball down their throat. They beat them the year before that too. I got them starting 1-0. To go back to the quad though, then they go to Pittsburgh, that Monday night game that we talked about. Then they go Tennessee and Baltimore before the bye week. So 3 out of 4 to start at home. What do you got them starting here, Cam?
That is an unreal first 4 games. 3 AFC North
division.
Games. Yeah. Oh, there's no way they win more than one of these. I'm going to go 2-2. I think they win. I think they beat Tennessee. And then I think they win week 1. Yeah.
How about you, Jim?
I got them 1-3. I think they beat Tennessee, and that's it. And we talked about this schedule too. Tennessee is a physical team, especially with Derrick Henry running it down your throat. By week 4, these guys are going to be, this defense especially is going to be tired. This is going to be some really physical games. So I'm going 1-3 to start.
I'm going 2-2. Man, I almost went 3-1. I almost had them protecting home field. But I think they're going to drop that Ravens game. I think they'll beat the Bengals in Tennessee. So I'll go 2-2. Coming out of the bye, damn. They got So they got 4 out of 5 at home to start. Is one of these games like a London game or something? No, it's not. So they go San Fran, at Indy, at Seattle, Arizona. What do you think here, Cam? What do you got the Browns going second tier or second quad?
This is tough. Do they sweep this second quad?
They do have 2 cupcakes with the Colts and Cardinals, but at Seattle's a tough trip.
I think if you ask 10 out of 10 people, these 4 games, they're going to go, oh yeah, they're going to lose to San Francisco, but they're going to sweep those 3. I think they lose one of those 3. I think, oh man, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not very high on the 49ers this year. But they do have a great coach. I'm going to go 2-2 again. I think they drop one of these cupcake games and then lose to the 49ers.
J. Mark?
Agreed. I'm going 2-2, lose to the 49ers and the Seahawks.
I'm going to have them beating the Niners out of the bye. I'm going to go 3-1. So I got 5-3 at the midpoint. J. Mark 3-5. Cam 4-4, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a Browns kind of record. All right, that moves us along to Murder's Row at Baltimore, Pittsburgh at home, at Denver, at LA. At LA is not too bad. What do we think here? Like 1-3?
Dang, this is tough.
That's 3 out of 4 on the road.
This is tough because I'm actually kind of high on this team. I'm gonna go. Man, I'm going to go 3-1 here.
Woo!
Yeah.
You do like the Browns.
No, I don't know.
So that gets you 4-4. You got them 7-5 headed into the last quad. J. Mark.
Yeah, I think they split with the Ravens. I already had them beating the Ravens, or the Ravens beating them. So I have them winning that game and losing the next 3, 1-3.
I go 2-2 again. So that gets me. Cam's got him 7-5. I got him 7-5. J. Mark, what do you have him now?
Well, you're supposed to be keeping track of that. I think I had him winning 5 so far.
I forgot to carry the 1. You got him 5-7. All right, last 5 games on the quad. Jacksonville, Chicago, Cleveland. That is a great December game. Smash mouth football. I love it. At Houston, that's probably a win. Oh, what? No. We got another Deshaun Watson massage parlor game. Then they got the Jets and at the Bengals to finish up. Oh, they're definitely losing at Houston.
Wait, didn't they play them in Houston last year?
Yeah, it was his first game. They actually won, but Watson was terrible. They had like 2 pick sixes, and that's how they won it. So
That's
the
so
NFL
weird.
on Christmas Eve. I mean, what do you think his
Yeah.
Christmas present's going to be? Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, dang.
The NFL, they knew what the fuck they were doing.
Man, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is so tough. 3-2. I think they beat the Jags. I think they beat Houston again. I think it's gonna be one of those games. And then I think they beat the Jets. I don't think the Jets are actually going to be good. I think they lose to the Bears and the Bengals. That one's for you, Justin.
I didn't say good. I don't have to mute you.
Yeah.
My only concern is Josh Dobbs is starting by that point for the Browns, and Josh Dobbs isn't terrible. No, I got him 2-3 in this.
Former Steeler.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm keeping track here. J Mark, you got him finishing 7-10. I got him going 3-2. Both Cam and I. And that gets him to 10-7. So we're both on the over. I'm not betting this, though. I'm staying away. J Mark, are you locking up the under?
Yeah, I'm going to just ride my narrative of fading this team. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
You're diving into the stink?
Yep.
Yeah, we forgot to mention they lost Jadeveon Clowney and Kareem Hunt. I think that they might overuse Nick Chubb a little bit, but I'm on the over. I wrote it up in my article. I think they steal a couple games, and they got a pretty easy, like Rams, Colts, Seahawks, Titans, So I'm on the over. I got a couple player props, or actually one. I think they throw it. I think Deshaun Watson over 3,600 passing yards is a good play too.
To keep him nice and loose. Yeah, no, I think Watson's going to be better in year number 2. I actually do. Maybe it's just because he actually lit up the Redskins the one game late in the season when Ron didn't know he could be eliminated from the playoffs. I think that was like his flash. I think he's going to play better. They were in the playoff hunt with Jacoby Brissett, and then Watson came back and was just a complete train wreck. I anticipate a bounce back. I'll go on that over with you as well, Cam. It's a disgusting play.
It doesn't feel good.
Put your morals aside, but you got to win money.
I should have prepped better and had the actual numbers, but I'm going to take the under on Nick Chubb's rushing yards because A, I agree they're going to overuse him. He might get banged up. And B, if you look at after Watson came back, Chubb's numbers dropped. And I think that's going to kind of be a pattern. I think Watson's going to pass more. They won't, and they're going to overuse him. They're going to pass more. I just think that there's something there where he doesn't end up having as dominant of a season.
If you had to guess who has a higher rushing yards total, Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb, what would you say?
I mean, it should be Henry. Or I mean,
it's so much health related. I might go Chubb, man. Chubb has been really, really good these last couple of years.
Chubb over under set at 1225.5. Derrick Henry 1150. So a whole 75 yards over Derrick Henry's number.
Well, I think the discrepancy in the offensive line, Cleveland's offensive line is really good. Compared to Tennessee's is not good at all anymore. I think that's where the difference is.
Yeah, that's true. They're the same kind of player though, I feel like.
Yeah, They're animals. I mean, they're beasts. Cam, do you have any interest in 4-1 to win the division? I mean, you got the Steelers 13-4.
No.
I only got him one game behind the Steelers. I might take a sprinkle on the Browns to win the division. I might just go with the Steelers and Browns. Fuck the Bengals and Ravens. I'll go with the two teams nobody's picking.
I mean, in this division, you can't take the favorite. Like,
no.
I understand the chalk kind of hit last year, but I mean,
that ain't happening this year.
Yeah.
Not 2 in a row. No way.
No.
Let's all right, let's move along. I'm not taking any AFC props for Super Bowl. They're the fucking Browns still in the end. Couldn't even win a Super Bowl with Bill Belichick, so they're not winning with Kevin Stefanski. Let's talk Baltimore Ravens, who are all of a sudden they want to play finesse style of football. Cam, I'm down on the Ravens for first glance before diving into the schedule. I lean under. I think J Mark and I have talked about it. I got bad vibes on this team.
Yeah, all this hype going into the season about the Ravens picking up, some offensive weapons. They drafted what's his name? Zay Flowers. They drafted Zay Flowers. They picked up Odell Beckham. What are we even talking about here? They still have a running back for a quarterback.
I know.
He can't throw. Even if they pick up some wide receivers, he's not a good passer. And I understand he's the MVP, former MVP, but I just think that this team's being way overblown, and they're not. I don't even think they get to 10. I think they win 9 games.
Yeah, and it seems like we've heard this narrative before of, we're going to pass more, right? And they never do. So I'm not buying into that. It's going to be the same team. I mean, we're going to pass more. No, you're not. You're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good time to bring up my player props that I wrote up, I guess. So Lamar Jackson under passing yards. If you don't want to get cute with that, take his over rushing yards. I mean, it kind of goes right into what you were saying, J Mark. But
yeah.
And then Odell Beckham, his receiving yard line, 575.5 yards. They are begging you to take that over. They're begging.
I know. Oh yeah, I'm not falling for that. Odell Beckham. He's not finished, but he's not Odell Beckham. I mean, that's just a big name at this point.
He's gonna have a game early on in the season where he gets zero catches, and then he's just gonna quit. He's gonna fake. I understand he just broke. Also, he just tore his ACL. And he's not young. I don't think he's gonna be able to bounce back after that injury and then the way he is. So I don't know. I'm not very high on him this year.
No, none of us are. And the over under set at 10.5. Where did it go? I just had it. Over under 10.5. This is the beautiful thing about. No, you're good. Oh, there you go. Plus 235 to win the North. Jim Mark's playing games with me. 18. That's how much he hates the Ravens this year. 18-1 to win the AFC. 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. Instead of the first 4, I'm going to go the first 5 because that little pass-happy offense is going to go right out the fucking window because they start with Houston and Indy at home. Okay, you can do your little pass-happy stuff, air it out. But then when you got to go to Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh in the first 5 weeks, your 3 divisional opponents, and they're running the ball down your throat and you're playing finesse football, you're going to be 2-3 after 5. And then they're going to be like, all right, the weather's starting to get cold. We're going to go back to running the football. So I got them started 2-3. How about you guys?
All 3 AFC North games on the road the first 5 weeks.
Yep.
That is tough. I mean, so the line for this week 1 game is 9 points. And there's a lot of good trends that point to the Ravens covering that 9 points, but I just have a bad feeling about that. I don't think I'm going to bet it, but I think I would take the points with the Texans. But then again, it's CJ Stroud's first game. I don't know.
J-Mark gave it out on the money line, I think, earlier.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
That was his, because there's always 1 or 2 random week 1 upsets. It's probably going to be the fucking Cardinals beating the Redskins.
Everyone is going to use the Ravens.
Jump off a bridge.
Everyone's going to use the Ravens for their Survivor week 1, and half the pool is going to be out. I'm going. Ooh. I'm going.
You got to go 2-3 in that stretch.
Are we doing the first 5 games or the first 4?
Yeah, just because they had the 3 divisional road spots. I made it sense. I was like, come on, what kind of schedule is this?
2-3. 2-3. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 2-3 as well. This is where I'm not a professional. I don't remember what I said for their other divisional games that we already covered, but I'm going 2-3 anyways.
I think I had them both losing. So this is great. This is like Kramer giving out all these unders. He just has everybody losing. And it's like, well,
Right.
somebody's got to win the game at some point. This isn't soccer. So that gets us into our second quad. We all have 2 and 3. Get that Matt Ryan crap off the screen, Nick Fortune. He's working for CBS. He's going to be breaking down these AFC North divisional games. We got Tennessee. This game, I think, is in London because it's a 9:30 kick. It's either London or Germany. Either way, it is not in America, and it's not in Baltimore, which actually they have a good home field, so that's a loss for the Ravens in terms of losing a home game. Detroit after they elect not to take their bye week. Then they go to Arizona, then Seattle at home. Actually, a pretty soft second quad here. Cam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean this is a little concerning. I think they win. I think they go 3-1 here. Oh, I forgot to mention the Steelers game at Heinz Field is on my birthday, and I've asked my wife to take me to my first Heinz Field game. So lock that up. Lock that up. Yeah. I think they lose one. I don't know which one. But I'm gonna go 3-1 here.
How about you, J Mark?
I'll do the same. Well, I'm a lot higher on the Seahawks than most people this year. I'll do 3-1.
I'm going to go 3-1 as well. Cam, did you go 3-1 or 2-2?
3-1. Yeah.
So all three of us 3-1 after 2-3 start. That gets us to got to carry the one, right? 5-4. So it's 5-4 through 9. And then, all right, so then they get the home games on the back end. That is a positive. Cleveland, Cincinnati. So they got the Ohio. Man, damn, I like that. Ravens, Bengals, Thursday night game. Fantastic. At LA, then a bye week. Holy, late bye week, week 13. Then the Rams. What do you think of these next 4 games?
Yeah, it's really interesting. All the AFC North teams except for the Ravens have really early bye weeks, and then the Ravens just have a really late bye week.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like by these week 10, 11, 12 games, they might be like, so I'm going to circle that LA, that game against the Chargers in LA. Like that's going to be a great time to play the Chargers. I think the Ravens lose that game. I think they lose either one to Cleveland and Cincinnati. And then coming off the bye week at home. Yeah, 2-2 here.
I'll do 2-2 as well.
Yeah, I think I like 2-2. I don't think they're going to beat the Chargers out there, and I think they'll drop one of those home games, probably to the Bengals. The Bengals have really given them fits with Burrow recently. So 2-2, all of us. That gets what to 7-6 with 4 to go. And interesting. This is an interesting freaking finish at Jacksonville, which is not a freaking soft spot. That's actually where Baltimore started their collapse last year, is when they lost that game at Jacksonville. At San Francisco Monday night on Christmas night. I could think of a lot of better ways to spend Christmas than going to play the fucking Niners. Then you got to finish with the Dolphins and Steelers. So we all got them, what, at 7-6? Is this 2-2 down the stretch? Maybe?
Man,
maybe 1-3.
I'm going 1-3, man. This is a tough way to finish the season.
Yeah, and Lamar's hurt by this point, right? So 0-4 for me.
Oh, so 7-10. There it is. 7-10 for J Mark. I got 1-3. I'll go 8-9. I'm with you. J Mark, I actually think that's realistic. I know people get all pissed off when we talk about injuries, but that's part of the fucking football game. I hate to break it to people. And Lamar's petered out around Halloween into Christmas, or not, into Thanksgiving, back-to-back years, and he's not getting any younger. I got him 1-3, 8-9, and then they're going to really have to look into the offseason of what their identity is going forward. So all of us, I think, are confident on the under for the Baltimore Ravens, correct?
Yeah, I'm on the under for sure.
So
agreed.
under for the Baltimore Ravens, and that gets us to the team that's dominated this division the last 2 years because they got the best quarterback, Joe Cool, over under set at 10.5, plus 160 to win the North. So even with how good they've been, they're still at plus money to win this hard division. That tells you everything you need to know about the North. 550 to win the AFC, 11 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. Pretty crazy that they're the third or fourth odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they're still plus money to win their division. What's the scouting report on Joe Burrow's calf here, Cam?
So, I mean, obviously the line is dropped, so that is kind of what you need to know from Vegas. They have been saying that it's nothing, but honestly, the Bengals got off to a sleepy start against the Steelers last year and dropped that insane overtime game. So, I mean, they can potentially use that as an excuse if they lose to the Browns. I mean, they had 3 conference losses last year. Their schedule looks tougher.
They get the first place schedule again.
Oh, do they? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Well, because they won the division. They got the Chiefs. They got the Bills. I mean, it's not Cupcake City here. This is a hard schedule.
Yeah,
and they got to go to Arrowhead late.
Yeah, dang. I mean, they have to play the Bills again. That's going to be, I mean,
emotional.
A rematch of it's going to be emotional. Is it in? I didn't even look.
It's actually in Cincinnati this time around.
Okay. That makes.
Well, I guess the incident. I guess the incident was actually in Cincinnati.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They played twice, technically.
They're all going to travel. All the Bills fans are going to travel across the pond.
Yeah, Adam Pelletier diving through tables.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, I mean, I think we start to see some aggression. Like I said, this is the Cincinnati Bengals after all. Let's not blow our proportions out of the water here. They have been good. And keep in mind, I'm a little biased, but this franchise is not, I mean, they've never been a good franchise, and they're going to figure out a way to screw this up. And I think we see it starting this year.
So let's get into it. We got them at Cleveland, Baltimore, LA, at Tennessee, first quadrant. Actually, a pretty soft schedule if Burrow is set to miss. Actually, I don't know if that's soft. What do you think here, Cam?
I mean,
2-2.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, that's pretty soft. Since we don't really know what the Rams are going to be. I mean, Tennessee isn't going to lose all their games, and I feel like every AFC North team is going to playing the Titans. So I don't know. Maybe I think at least one of these teams loses to the Titans. Hopefully, it's not the Steelers. I don't know. I think people kind of look on that little injury in the preseason as kind of a way to doubt the Bengals, and they get off to a kind of hot start. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay. J. Mark?
I like it. Yeah, SGPN football doc said he was not concerned about Burrow's injury, just to monitor it, but he's not too concerned about it. So I'll go with his knowledge. I'm also going to do 3-1.
I got 2-2. I think they're going to lose at Tennessee. I think that's a physical team. Rematch of that playoff game a couple years ago. They're still bitter about it. I'll take Tennessee. So I got them 2-2. You guys got them 3-1. This is not a cupcake city here because, well, I guess at Arizona is, but after that they got Seattle, bye, at San Fran, and then Buffalo. My God, better hope Joe Burrow's back for this.
Yeah, so they have to go. They have to go to Seattle, come back for the bye week, and then go back to San Francisco. I mean, I guess that's kind of ideal if you're going to do after being yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of ideal. Travel. Yeah, but you do get a week off, but that is a lot of travel. Man, I think this is 2-2 too. I think they might pull out one against San Francisco or Buffalo, but I think they lose to, I mean, maybe Arizona, maybe Seattle, something like that. But 2-2.
I'm going to go 3-1 again. I know that Bills game is going to be
6-2.
emotional. Yeah, I know that Bills game is going to be emotional, but the Bengals seem to have their number from what we saw last year. It really looked like they had their number, and I think that's going to continue. And Ryan, you and I have kind of talked about it. This Bengals defense doesn't get enough credit. It's a defense that has improved year after year, and yeah, I just think that even if Smoking Joe is a little banged up going into the season, I think that defense is going to help them kind of weather that storm.
So you got him 6-2. Cam's got him 5-3. I got 2-2. I got him 4-4. I think they're not a first half team. They've started slow recently. I think that they feel like they can just turn on the switch. Whether they lose to Buffalo, I definitely think they're going to lose at San Fran. I think that's a bad matchup for them. And then I think that they split that Seattle Buffalo homestand. So I got 4-4. Go ahead.
If you look at their draft picks, they did get their first round pick was a defensive end. So, maybe they get a little more pressure on that outside, get a little more better, run blocking game. But like the majority of their upgrades were in that cornerback safety position. So, I think that you're right to say that that San Francisco game is going to be tough. But I think San Francisco is a tough team for everyone. So,
yeah, they could definitely run the football. So that gets us to the next quad. Houston at home, at Baltimore, Pittsburgh, who always gives them fits, and then at Jacksonville. Woo! That's a tough stretch, other than Houston.
Yeah, I don't like that we're playing them this late in the season for the first time. But if what I think is going to happen with the Steelers actually happens, then I think Kenny Pickett will be rolling, and hopefully we catch him off guard after going to Baltimore on a Thursday night. So, man, yeah, this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go. I think they beat Baltimore, lose to the Steelers, lose to Jacksonville, and then beat the Colts. So 2-2 again.
2-2. So that's 7-5 coming down the stretch for you.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep. J. Mark. See, I'm catching on, man. The more beer, the better my math gets.
I got 2-2 as well in this stretch, so I got them at 8 wins.
8-4 for you. 7-5. Yeah, I got them 2-2. Damn, so I got it 6-6. But Burrow's good in December. He's going to turn it on. All right, last 5. Indy. Oh God, sorry, Indy. Minnesota at home, at Pittsburgh, at Kansas City, and then Cleveland at home, week 18. Damn, tough road spot here. Got to go to Pittsburgh Saturday the 23rd, and then go to Arrowhead on New Year's Eve. That's not a good way to end the year. Although they've had Kansas City's number.
Yeah, man, this might be sneaky. This might look tough on paper, but I think that Cleveland never finishes really I don't think they finish well at all. And I think that they sneak. I think they might lose to the Vikings, but then beat like either the Steelers or the Chiefs. And then man, yeah. Honestly, I think they might go 3-1 here to finish the season.
There's 5 games. You forgot the Indy game. Indy game.
I did. Oh, okay. Sorry, I did that one. Oh, I missed. I screwed that up.
You're overlooking Indy. I don't blame you.
I did. I included Indy in the last one. Okay, so yeah, Indy. So shoot. I'm gonna go 4-2. Sorry, 4-1.
4-1. I was like, wait a minute. So you got him 11. Yeah, you got him 11-6.
Yeah, I got him 11-6.
J. Mark.
Steelers win the division.
I'm going 4-1 here.
So that's what, 12-5. So you got him winning the North for the third straight year. I got him 3-2, man. I got him
Where are the
9-8.
losses?
I at Pittsburgh, at Kansas City. I think Kansas City eliminates him from the playoffs.
I think they lose to the
I think-
Vikings.
I think I'm going to look at it. What is Cincinnati to miss the playoffs? We were calling for regression last year on the Bengals. I'm going to call for regression this year on the Bengals.
They're minus 255 to make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
missing should be pretty juicy.
I get the Browns ahead of the Bengals. What world am I living in right now?
Fantasy
I'm
land.
lo-
The Steelers are plus 135 to make the playoffs. Just saying. Just
Yeah, I
throwing
like
out
that.
there.
Let's transition into the last segment on this show. Lock and dog. I'll let you lead it off. What is your favorite lock? And then give out your favorite dog price. I mean, I think you've already teased it with some of your Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah.
props.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a homer pick. I'll give, I mean, the Steelers win total over 8.5, little juicy, but lock it up. I mean, max bet, whale play, whatever you want to call it. If you, the dog, I mean, the division price, 5-1. You got to take that in this division. And then what's the last one? We're going long shot.
Long shot, yeah.
Long shot. All right. Whatever. I know these are available. I don't have them in Texas, but let's go Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Ravens.
Exacta. I like that.
Ravens finished last.
I really like
Interesting.
playing the Ravens to finish last.
I'm looking at DraftKings right now. I can't. Team results.
They got it hidden in a funky spot. I found it earlier
I know
too.
you got to navigate the damn thing.
The Bengals to miss the playoffs plus 215.
Yeah, I
Is
saw
what we were
that.
talking about. Exact. No, that's not. Yeah.
We'll tweet it out. We'll
tweet it
We'll
out.
locate this. That's why you follow. Yeah, we're teasing it. We still got 3 weeks to make these bets. So, J Mark, how about your lock and dog?
Yeah, I'm going to double down on the lock of Steelers over the win total. For a dog, I was going to take Bengals to win the division, but I kind of like Steelers to make the playoffs because even then, if the Steelers win the division, you're still plus money, plus 135. For a long shot, I also had an exacta, but mine's Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Cleveland at 11-1.
I like it. There you go. Let's make it a triple lock. Steelers over 8.5 wins.
I hope we didn't just jinx them.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried. If you want to play a little parlay action with my two confident plays, Steelers over, Ravens under. I like that dog price at Cincinnati to miss the playoffs. I think this is the year, a little bit of regression here for Joe Cool and Cincinnati Bengals. I like the exacta of Pittsburgh to win the division, followed by the Cleveland Browns in second place. So I'm going to I'll tweet out that long shot. That's a big time long shot.
I found him. It's Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Ravens, 30-1.
30-1, baby. You heard it, baby.
I'm trying to find. Okay, here we go. Mine is 18-1, so not as juicy. Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, exacta 18-1.
You guys make me feel like I'm giving out a small long shot at only 11-1 here.
Yeah, quit being a coward. You're saving all your big ones for the fucking Bears next week.
That's right.
He's summing up all the equations of how the Bears to win the division and Packers to finish 4th, 16th in the NFC. All right, guys. Well, that was a fun one on the AFC North, the most hatred division. I absolutely love this division. Can't say it enough. Can't wait to keep diving into all these teams as we lead up to the National Football League opener between the Kansas City Chiefs and Detroit Lions. But before we get out of here, Cam, tell everybody where to find you and all the good work you're doing over here at SGPN, because you got your hands everywhere in this company.
Yeah. So been an SGPN guy for this will be my 4th year. I have a hand in the college experience, the new Big 12 experience. I produce the golf gambling podcast. Go check that out. You can find me on Twitter. That's the best place to find me, at Kurt Cameron on Twitter. But yeah, and feel free to chat with me in the Discord. I'm always in there. So
J Mark.
Yeah, find me on Twitter or on X, I guess, as everybody's saying now. I still can't get to there. But find me there at JMarkFootball. Follow me. I tweet everything out there. Go follow Old Fashioned Football at Old Fashioned FB. Talking fantasy football and whiskey. Going to be reviewing these guys. They're somewhere here. I can't get my fingers right, but right behind me. Going to be reviewing those Keeper's Heart. We visited them, and they were very gracious hosts this weekend. So it was very, very fun.
Absolutely love it. Can't wait to drink some whiskey with you. We got to figure out our game. Oh, we got another Thursday night game this year. Skins Bears. We got to double down here for a bottle of
There you
whiskey
go.
like we did last year. First one to
Hell
12
yeah.
will win again, just like last year. Absolutely atrocious game in Chicago last year. At Moneyline_back, you can find me. Like Cam said, go check out the college football experience, the Big 12 experience. College football's coming. So's the NFL. Can't wait. And hey, you know what? Everybody listening, appreciate your support throughout the offseason and headed into the 2023 NFL season. But do us a favor. It takes 10 seconds out of your day. Go leave a 5-star review and smash that like button. Quit being a lazy ass and get over there and like it and subscribe. So that's all I got. And we will see you in our next divisional preview. Let it ride.
go Steelers.